when it comes to business, I think too many people cut themselves short because sometimes the answer is no. And I go, look, Larry called me and he said, when can we start? And I said, right now. How far are you? Right. And he said, well, I live in Malibu. And I said, perfect. Let's meet in Woodland Hills, Zoo Culture. I'll see you there. 2 hours. Looked at my Google Maps. I got in the car and we drove. Right. And because I learned a long time ago, a lot of people don't want to do things that are uncomfortable. Right. They want to make it convenient. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're in a feast or famine. You know what I mean? All the time. It's like, can you train me at 4 a.m.? Yeah. It's going to be double, but I'll be there. Right?
Yeah.
The answer is yeah. There might be a price to it, but the answer is yes, because you're going to turn down that client at 4 a.m. But the same person that turned down the client at 4 a.m. is complaining that they don't have enough clients to make money, but they're not willing to start till 9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. 4 is when they want it. That's when I'm there. Let's go. 4 o'clock, the answer is yes. 5 o'clock, the answer is yes. Midnight, the answer is yes. If I have it available, the answer is always yes. You got to hustle. That's how you get things done. I'll sleep some other time. So I think having that mentality all the time of, can you do this? Yes, I can do it. And I drove down, we trained, we hit it off. I was talking to him at the time about building this gym. I was already in the works. And about 2 weeks into training.
You actually had another gym you were opening up that something happened with the permits.
I found the location. I found a big location. We were in the works. I had gone through months already of negotiations and trying to figure out some stuff. And unfortunately, the owner of that building was kind of like a slumlord. So we couldn't come to some terms that would have been, reasonable. And the coolest part about this whole project is Larry came in and he said, hey, do you want a partner? And I was supposed to have a different partner on that. And that didn't work out for reasons, that were divine. It's divine, right?
God sent, yeah.
And so Larry goes, I know it's not working out with this partner. Do you want a new partner? And without hesitation, I'd already known Larry and his character. And I said, let's go. Let's do it. And so we worked on that first location. And one thing that I want to make clear for a lot of people that may be not believers or new believers, right, is life doesn't get easier, right? Like when you decide that, you have God in your life, it doesn't make things easier. It just makes the decisions easier because you have faith in the fact that if a door was closed, it was closed for a reason.
Repeat that again, Ryan.
Yeah. If you have that faith, that door was closed. There was a purpose for it being closed. Yeah. Sometimes even the answer to your prayers is no. Mm-hmm. Right? The answer is no. And I was set on doing this gym in this location, and we hit roadblock after roadblock. And during that process, Larry was like, man, we're hitting a lot of, and I said, why are you so calm through it? And I said, look, if it's supposed to be, it's going to be, and I'm not going to push this. And all the relationships, which I believe that your worth is your network, right? Yeah. And a close friend of mine that I wrestled with in high school, we went to elementary school, a gentleman named Steve Jepson, who's the CFO of massive corporations and brilliant guy, Harvard graduate. And I'm just at a barbecue with Steve, and I haven't seen any of my wrestling friends for years. And Steve says, hey, I want you to work with this project. We have this drink, White Rabbit. White Rabbit says energy drink. It's revolutionary. It's great. And I tried it. So, man, this is great. He says, you know what? I want to work with you and Larry. And if so, I'll help you. I'll be the CFO for your new gym project. Man, what a godsend. He stepped into this thing, took over all the leases, and he came in and said, this gym right here, this building is a no. We're walking away. You're going to walk away. And the day that happened, I was in the parking lot of my gym, frustrated, almost going back and forth saying, I know you don't think it's good, but I'm willing to deal with these little trap doors. I'm going to sign it. Mm-hmm. The owner of my property is in the parking lot, stops me and says, I hear you're going to move the gym.
The lady.
Yeah. Marta, she's great, property manager. And she says,
I met her.
You've been here for 6 years. You've been a great tenant. We don't want you to leave. And I said,
so you had already put up your...
I had told her, yep, we're leaving. And she says, look, why don't you take this building here, the old candlelight dinner theater.
The Playhouse.
It was an old dinner theater.
Yeah.
And I said, that's undertaking. It's too big. It's like
So the first thought that came to your mind, it was too
the
big.
building was perfect size, but the project to turn this old theater, which was built in 1911, to renovate this building and make everything up to code, to turn it
You had
into
to do
the gym.
retrofitting and any of
Oh,
that?
God, all of it. Right. It was like, and it's a historical landmark in the city. So we're going to be scrutinized. This is going to be a project. My pockets aren't deep enough to handle this. This is going to be a big undertaking. She says, come on, let's go talk to the owner, Mr. Wu, of the building. We sit down with him and he says, I'll build you your dream gym.
Wow.
And I said, what do you mean build me a dream gym? He says, I'll build the whole thing. You do your equipment, you do your lights, you do your floors. I'll take care of everything else.
That's awesome.
They give us a rent rate of what it was 40 years ago, right? When it was originally Claremont High School. This building was Claremont High School, and this was the basketball gymnasium, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were able to turn this building from 1911 back to its original purpose, from a gym back to a gym.
Full circle.
Full circle. And he said, don't worry. I know everybody in the city. We're going to get this thing done. It's going to be smooth. And he held up to his end, man. I mean, he took care of that project and was in there with us every day, walked us through the whole thing. And
so tell us about your gym.
One Gym, man. It is, I'm so proud of this gym. We built it in Claremont, California. It's 16,000 square feet, and it is full of, like an average gym, LA Fitness, we have like 70, 80 machines. We got 160 machines.
160 machines.
About half of those are exclusive to just that gym. We built them.
So when you say exclusive,
they're one of one machine.
One of one.
We designed them with.
And by the way, if you've never trained, my invitation to you is come see him wherever you're at in the world. These machines are like, it's kind of like doing yoga for your muscles.
Yeah, we took
like it's
25 years or whatever plus of training athletes, and you would say, this machine's great, but I wish it would do this, or I wish it was like this. We were able to go in and work with these designers and make these machines do what we wanted them to do. And we didn't make them to mass produce to sell. I just wanted to make them for me in my gym.
And also from what you've learned over the years of really sculpting athletes, because that's what you do. You're a Leonardo da Vinci for athletes.
Yeah,
you could look at them and in seconds you change their meal plan, and in a week, if they've been following your meal plan without actually you having to be there. That's an art.